In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, the most merciful, dear friends and fellows, look, what is the work of a doctor and what is the work of a mechanic? Both of these have to diagnose what's wrong, what is where the trouble is being created and how to fix it. Diagnosing, you know, is the first major step and a very, very important thing, after which making a proper use of the things become easier, feasible, and possible. But the diagnosis comes first. Now, some of the people are found trying, working since long, but they could not succeed. They could not achieve whatever they wanted to. Why? Because they are unable to understand why their efforts and why their struggles are not working, not producing results. Why their sown crops are not springing up. And dear friends, whatever we are doing, if at all we are absolutely content with the kind of results we have been producing, then it's quite okay. But if at all we are not that much satisfied with the kind of results, with the kind of outcome which is being received by us, then I am of the view that we need to change, we need to make certain experiments. We need to make, but these certain experiments should not be done in a blind manner. Why? Because some of these, if at all done in such a blind manner, can become fatal, can kill us, can make a huge and maybe an irreparable destruction. So for that reason, we need to we need to be careful and cautious about the kind of changes, the kind of experiments we are making, the kinds of changes we are trying to introduce. I'm of the view that we need to keep changing, and we do need to keep changing. There are certain examples in front of us which can somehow support this idea a lot. The idea of tinkering, the idea of changing, the idea of, making new experiments. Look upon the life of late Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan. He was an average performer, but then he obviously, since he was quite a creative mind, he had experimented several things. But lastly, what he did experiment was that he mixed the classical music with the modern Western music. What did appear? It was a super hit music, liked and loved by everyone else, not only the people from the eastern countries, rather from that of the western countries as well. East and West all was combined behind his music because he was such a legend. Why did it happen? It did happen only because he was experimenting, because he was trying to do a sort of engineering, in the field of the musical engineering. Now look upon the game of the cricket. The cricket, obviously, the proper cricket is being played with the hard ball and with the hard ball bats. And now, if at all, what did happen sometimes back, maybe several decades back, some of the people started playing the cricket with the tennis ball, and this tennis ball cricket, softball cricket, became make made it very popular game, very popular game. And dear friends and fellows, it became so popular that it was liked and adopted by many of the people. And now, if at all a cricket is being played at the 20 places here in Pakistan and India, maybe at the 19 places, it will be played it does get played with the softball, with the tennis ball, and maybe it is so around the world as well. But if not around the world, then at least here in the subcontinent, Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, and Afghanistan, and maybe other countries, the SARC, South Asian countries. So the tennis ball was not made for the cricket. The tennis ball was made for the tennis. But there are very few balls which are being used for the plays of for the play of tennis. But most of these balls are being played. Most of these balls are being played for the purpose of the cricket. So cricket became much popular because of the tennis ball experiment. As I earlier said, that these experiments should not be done in a blind manner at all, because some of these random, careless, you know, careless experiments can kill us. But we must not forget that some of the important inventions were made by chance. Some of the important inventions were made by chance. So, for that reason, I think if at all we do something, when we do something different, we should try to note and to catch the ideas, the outcome of it, why, what are the results, and etc. etc. Looking upon the life of Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan, and looking upon the game of the cricket with the introduction of the tennis ball, I think that we need to keep experimenting certain things. We need to keep, if at all we want a constant improvement, if at all we want a constant improvement in our work, whatever sort of work we are doing, then all what is needed is that we need to keep introducing the new thing. We need to keep changing. We need to keep making the better and the better experiments, as these experiments can lead us to the success. These experiments can lead us toward the kind of success we wanted to achieve. And maybe it is being creative, and unless and until we are creative enough, we will not be able to hit something great, because as for the old and the played overly played methods are concerned, maybe these are not going to be liked, because and not going to be liked and not going to become that much successful as well. So although it is said that don't try to reinvent the wheel, and that is absolutely true, but if at all we are not satisfied, if at all we are not satisfied with the kind of result we have been producing, then there is a dire need to keep experimenting the new and even the new thing.